Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Bud Brown. Thanks for coming to my channel. Really appreciate it. Today, I'm going to talk about in this video our assumptions. Now, when you get older, it's necessary to assume things. It makes life a lot easier. I mean, when I say assume, things going from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, and I'm talking about things like obvious example, driving a car, riding a bicycle. At first, you have to concentrate and focus on every movement. And even in my new tuk-tuk, at first, where's the brake? Where's the reverse? Where's I stepped down on this emergency brake instead of pulling it up. So I had to get used to that. And the handlebars has several buttons on it, and I can't look when I'm driving. I shouldn't be looking down to see where my thumb, where's a horn, where's the lights, where's a turning signal. But after a while, right now, I've had it a couple months, I don't have to look for where my feet are supposed to go or where my thumbs are supposed to go on the handlebars. It just goes, and it makes it a lot easier. And the reason I'm saying all that is because when you get a certain age, like I am in my mid 70s, you kind of take things for granted, especially if you're growing up in one culture. Of course, as you know, probably I'm from the States, and so I've grown up in the American culture and assumed so many things. And I've learned, though, being here, that this is a different culture, different way of seeing things and a way of doing things, and that's okay. One time, this is a while back, this fellow wrote a comment. He says, I don't know what you're complaining about prices and stuff. He says, you're retired from the military. You've got a military pension. You most likely sold your house. You got a big cash output on that. And you're a retired teacher, so you got a good teacher's pension. So, man, yeah. So, according to him, oh, man, I got money running out of my ears. And although I'm not a rich man and I'm not a poor man, but I had to respond telling him, I'm afraid you're assuming too many things, my friend. You assumed I was in the military. I was in the Navy for 4 years. So you assumed that I must have retired from the military. You have to be in the military 20 years before you can retire and get a pension. So check that off. And you assumed that I owned a house or property in the States and I sold that. No, we've always rented. And we did that on purpose. And I know people have over the years, oh, you wasted your money, rent. But Gloria and I both agreed that we like renting. We can come, we can go. The landlord has to fix the house and fix things that, go wrong. We like the freedom that renting brings us, but that's us. So don't assume that, I got a big wad out of selling my property in the States. A lot of guys have, not me. And the last assumption was retired from the teaching, which I did. And I taught for 20 years. But what he didn't know, I shouldn't have to say it, but I'm going to anyway, is that every few years, I took my retirement money and went off to go seek my fortune. I didn't find it. But I do have a teacher's pension, but it's not as big as he thinks it is. But hey, it's fine. I'm not complaining. So assuming that, and also there was a comment, if you saw my last video, about going by our barangay hall, and I saw this big crowd out there, and the title of my video was, "They're giving away money." So we stopped and asked the fella, if you see the video, you'll know this already, what's going on? And he was saying something like pension. He had a face mask, which, by the way, don't assume that face mask worn here has to do with COVID. That's another assumption. People here in Southeast Asia, they've worn face masks years and years for many years, many years. Pollution, exhaust from cars ahead of us. They're sick, they have a cold, they don't want to, spread their germs. There's so many reasons. But we in the States, we only associate, I'm not including me now, but a lot of people in the States have only been familiar with face masks when COVID came along. So when they see another country, another city, another place that are wearing face masks, what? Why are you wearing face? So anyway, don't assume that just because somebody's wearing a face mask, that means they have COVID or they're afraid of COVID or it has anything to do with COVID. So getting back to what I was saying, the fellow was wearing a face mask, and he said that something about, I couldn't hear him that well. He was speaking Tagalog, and he said pension and pension and something. And I asked Gloria, what's he saying? She said, I don't know. He's talking about pension. So I went to Bo's Coffee, which I was on my way to Bo's, and they thought that it was some kind of a, well, I'll just tell you today, like an hour or so ago, because I asked these employees again, and the reason I asked them again was because there was a comment on my channel that said, on my video, that said, I just saw the title, and I already knew already they're paying people to vote. So there must be an election coming up soon because they pay people to vote. They bribe them. I'm thinking, well, I have heard of things like that. But what does that have to do with this fella saying pension? So he didn't even see the video. He just said he knew what was happening from the title. He assumed. So I asked these employees at Bo's Coffee, I said, remember I was telling you that I stopped that place? I said, what exactly is that? He said, the government has a program for seniors over 60 that do not have pensions, of course, from work. They give them 1,000 pesos a month, but they give it every 3 months. So that means they get 3,000 pesos every 3 months. It's a program for seniors with no pensions. Oh, okay. I thought that's pretty good. So my point is when you assume things, it could be in a bad way or a good way. I think when he talked about the giving the impression of bribing voters and giving them money, that's in our at least American attitude. Hey, that's not good. But if you think that it was a government program to help these seniors, these elderly that don't have a pension, hey, that's a pretty good deal, in my opinion. So what I wanted to say was just, hey, let's don't jump to conclusions, especially here in the Philippines. I mean, it's a different culture, different people, different country. So you just have to go with the flow here. Gloria and I, we're here for 12 years. It took a 2-year break. We come back, and now it's been 6 months here. And by the way, I think my next video, it's going to be about our budget because we finally have been here long enough, to kind of understand what the cost of living is going to be. Also, I want to tell you about the Blue Boy, the tuk-tuk. So I've had it for a few months, and I got a bead on what it's all about now. So thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.